Welcome to the Jointery podcast, a podcast where we study the lives of study the lives of two dads trying to find the balance between the families, hobbies and work. This week on the Jointery, we discover
people who listen to this podcast aren't listening to it for our shop talk.
Let's just search for the meaning of life as it had never been witnessed before. The Jointery podcast.
And we started, and we're off.
All right,
let's go.
And we're off. We're off.
We got an hour. Let's go. What isn't up?
It's yeah, we got an hour to do this thing. Dude, it's been a while since I've seen your face. I feel like I haven't seen you in like 3 or 4 days. It feels like, but it's good to see you. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I mean, we talked yesterday.
We talked today too on Clubhouse, but I haven't seen your face. I feel like it's been like a couple days. I don't know.
Does it? Well, I got a haircut, so does it look different?
You do. You do look different. You're all cleaned up. You're all your beard's like half the size.
Yeah, I did tell him. I was like, look, man, I am an internet celebrity now, and I was like, it's important that I keep up appearances. So I was like, could you trim the beard so it's less poofy on the sides? I'm like, because I'm fat already. I don't need to make it look like I got no neck,
Yeah, Debbie. It's funny. Is Debbie the other day was like, a couple weeks ago when you started growing your beard out, she's like, I actually kind of liked it, and I was like, fucking bonus, man. I'll start growing that shit again. You know what I mean? Like I kept it shaven short because I thought you liked it. You know what I mean? Like I would fucking be a hairy beast if you don't let me.
So does Debbie give you much input when it comes to like your hairstylings?
Facial. She cuts my hair.
Oh, really?
Well, she cuts my hair all the time. Like,
now, do you get any input in that, or is she just like, damn it, Ben, get in the chair. I need to fix this.
Look, man, I'm trying to keep her as close to me as possible. So like, I give her full, like whatever you think is going to be attractive to you, that's what you go for. You know what I mean? Like I don't care what I look like. I care what you think I look like. So that's all that matters.
See, now that begs the question for me, does Debbie take requests? Because I should message her. Be like, yo, I'd like to make some requests on Ben's hair. If you're interested. I'd like to at least present a few options to you. So that way, and if she's like, well, what do you think? And then I'm just going to be like, well, we're going to just do an internet survey first, obviously. What does Ben's hair need to look like? Does she trim the beard too?
No, I do the beard. I do the beard. And like I said, I've always kept it short because I just assumed she wanted it that way. The one time I did, I've only grown my beard out like one time, and that was like, for the most part, I always keep it short, but I grew it out one time and I let it go for like a couple months and without shaving. And at one point I looked like, I just looked at myself in the mirror. Like I look like a fucking homeless person. I mean, literally look like a homeless person, dude. I was like, oh my God. And I looked over at Debbie. I was like, why did you let me get like this? Why do you? But
that's funny because Jackie's all, Jackie just, any kind of questions I ask her about my hair, she always is like longer, crazier. I'm like, do you want me to look like, I could be like get ushered into the homeless community pretty quickly? And she's like, yeah. She's like, so 2-3 days of not showering, it's like I definitely look borderline homeless. So
does she? So she doesn't care what your hair looks like as far as like lengthwise.
No, she'll just say things like, oh, I like it long, or like I like it because like my hair is curly naturally, so like it'll like obviously it's easy to see now under the hat and the headphones, but like it kind of like wings out on the sides, and she thinks that's cool. So
yeah, I used to get that when I was younger. I would purposely let it do the flippy thing.
Yeah. So is your hair normally curly?
No, but because I wear hats all the time, so when I wear a hat, it'll curl out. You know what I mean? The side.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time, I wear a hat regardless. All the time. Like 95% of the time, I'm wearing a hat, so my hair really, really doesn't matter, to be honest. But
well, I was gonna say that because I think like lifetime, I've probably seen your hair like 3 times, and it's usually like you pulling off the hat, sighing like, oh, and then running your hand through the hair, and then immediately putting the hat back on. I'm like, all right, it's like Oh, I was gonna say it's like I didn't realize Mike Coffey was bald until one time he took his hat off.
Yeah. He's very bold, very bold. Um, no,
But
I
yeah,
got good
I've
hair.
only seen your hair. Yeah, sure.
I got good hair, man. Bryce actually, wife Waffle Beaver was busting my chops about it today earlier. You know, he was like, "Man, you would think that if somebody with hair as good as yours, you'd want to show it off more often. You know what I mean? You always are wearing a hat." And I'm like, I just don't want to make other people jealous. You know, guys my age usually don't have hair like this. You know what I mean? Like they're usually balding or something. So
Yeah,
I'm just lucky that way.
I do love how much Bryce loves you. So it just means a lot to me. He's a good guy.
Thanks by the way for getting him telling him I needed somebody to be my partner for the Maker collab.
Look, he's a smart guy. You guys work together, and I knew he would be so enthusiastic about it. Where you clearly had told me that you don't want to do it, and you're like, like, oh, you didn't say you don't want to do it. You're like, I don't. You just didn't seem like you cared. And in my head, I
No.
was like, well, maybe I could make Ben care if I just found somebody who was really enthusiastic about innovation. And like immediately, Bryce popped in my head, and I was like, Bryce, I'm like, Ben needs a partner. You know that, right? He's like, really? I'm like, yeah.
Dude,
So
he's been all over me every day since. And yeah, we officially we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it.
see, I knew it.
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
screaming at me, by the way. Your
I'm
mic is so
excited that you're
loud
gonna.
right now.
I'm gonna.
Your mic is so loud right now.
Is it? Do I need to turn it down?
Turn it down a teeny bit.
Which
You're
side is
screaming
it?
at me.
Do I turn it down? Okay,
The
wait,
backside. The backside.
backside. Wait,
Backside. The top one. Just turn it down just a hair.
okay, all right. It just says gain though. It doesn't say volume. Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you were just peaking a little bit. No, yeah,
peaked-
we're so
I
you
peaked
peaked
early.
a long time. You peaked a long time ago.
Yeah.
No, but he's yeah, he talked me into it. He wore me down. He broke me down over the last couple days, and we're gonna go
I
for
knew.
it.
I knew you wanted to be in it. So you have an idea, I assume. Did he convince you with an idea?
Jason from Jason Sullivan is calling me right now. He didn't get
You are
he didn't get the memo that we're recording the podcast at the moment.
you are a professional, dude. I think your phone rings every single time that we're on the podcast. And it's interesting because you leave your ringtone on, whereas mine is always on vibrate, and my wife has no ringtone or vibrate. She doesn't want to be bothered by anything. So
That would drive me insane. Dude, that is one of my biggest pet peeves is Debbie keeping her phone on vibrate
mhm.
because honestly, there's been so many times in so many situations where I've needed to get a hold of her for something and she doesn't answer the phone because she has it on vibrate. She doesn't hear it. I didn't hear it. You know what I mean? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what is the point of having a goddamn phone if you can't hear it? If you can't hear the ring? What is the point? What is the point?
I mean, like honestly, Jackie used to be like notorious about that to the point where I told her, I said, fine, if you're not going to pick up your phone, you have to enable the find friends on your phone so at least I know where you are. Because she used to like ride her bike home from work,
Oh yeah.
and for the most part, it was a very nice ride. But she did drive through an industrial area, so I got a little nervous. I'm like, I know there's a lot of rando homeless dudes in there looking for who knows what, and I'm like, I don't want to see my wife riding by on a bicycle and be like, "There's Easy Pickens." I want to know where she's at. So do you
No, I
track
was
your
just gonna
wife?
say. Oh yeah. We have the find your phone or whatever for me, her, and her mom is also on ours because she's getting up there in age, so we want to make sure like we always know where she's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But yeah, no. I mean, it's just so frustrating. I mean, once you have kids, especially, you know
yeah.
what I mean. You should always be able to. Somebody should always be able to get a hold of you.
I
Yeah.
mean, I've had those. I've had the experience many a time with my wife, but I will say that having the tracking helps. But the funny thing is like, do you ever look at the tracking to see where she's at?
Yeah, dude. I do it all the time.
So I
Like
don't.
not like cause not like I'm like, oh, where is she? But I mean, just I don't know. It's an app. I have it. I use it.
Somebody feels like somebody's watching you.
Yeah,
Well, I ask because so we have the same thing, and like my whole family is on it pretty much,
yeah,
and but the people that I know check it the most are my parents, right? Because occasionally I'll get like a text from my mom. Oh, you're at the mall. What are you doing there? I'm like,
yeah.
you
That's a
know,
little hardcore.
what are you what are you doing so far west from Chicago? I'm like, what? I'm like, how do? Oh yeah, damn it. Like, but I don't check. The only time I check to see where my wife is at is if I'm like stressing out. And I'm like, why doesn't she pick up the phone? But like, will she please just pick up the phone? So
Yeah, no, I mean it's not like normally. It's not like usually I'm checking like during the middle of the day or anything. But like honestly, like yeah, for same reason, around the time Debbie gets off work, if she hasn't been home, if it's 15 minutes that's gone by, considering she works 4 minutes from our house, I'm like, well,
yeah,
let's check it. Let's check it. Maybe she got in an accident. Maybe something crazy happened. You never know.
yeah,
But it's good. It's a great app to have. For the I like I said, for her mother, my mother-in-law, she's, gotten lost numerous times when she's been traveling places, driving places, and had to call us and be like, oh, I can't find where I'm going or whatever. And I'll be able to pull it up on the app and be like, okay, now you can just, go here, turn right, go up here, you know what I mean? And kind of help be her Google Waze or whatever you want me, her Google Maps.
dude.
So it's been great for that reason.
Look, if you want, you could follow me, and then you could help give me directions for when I get lost.
I probably should. I probably should. You tend to do that a lot, especially on taco runs. Speaking of
Yeah.
taco runs,
Oh my god, that was fun.
we dropped our first episode this week, this last couple days ago of our first taco run, and people have been loving it, dude. I've gotten so many, so just like you said. I hope people send you all kinds of barbacoa, shredded beef taco pictures. I've gotten a bunch, dude. I got one this morning. I got one yesterday. I've got numerous pictures sent to me. And yeah, people think that's pretty funny.
Look, I want to encourage the people who listen to this to give us as hard of a time as possible. Um, I love that stuff. So do you know the difference between barbacoa and carne asada yet? Have you figured
Yes,
that out?
I've learned the difference, and I've actually got Dave Miller, who's a local California guy to me. He actually sent me a voicemail expressing his disappointment in me for not having better taco knowledge. He's like, dude, you're representing California, man. He's like, he's like, I'm disappointed in you. Um, it was pretty funny. I
Yeah,
was like,
dude, it's a real thing, man. You're Cali, dude. You eat a lot of tacos.
I know, I blew it. I had a temporary, brain fart. And what do you want from me?
Dude, I feel like if we were talking ice cream and you were like, wait, you haven't heard of cookie dough? Like, you know, or like maybe
That
pralines and cream or something. Butter
Yeah, no, I
pecan.
get it. No, I get it, but it's like I said before, man, last week. It just for some reason my brain just stopped working in that moment. It's just
Ah.
like, nope, nope. Carne asada is what she asked for, and that's what you're getting. Such an idiot.
My tacos were great, by the way.
Oh, I
They
bet, man.
they
They
were
looked good.
delicious.
They
I
looked
I
great.
I ate all of them before Jackie even came downstairs. So she was like upstairs, like taking care of something. And usually I'll like wait till she comes down before I start eating. And I was like, I'll just have a taco. And when she came down, I was wrapping it all up and throwing it away. I was like, well,
How many of the tacos did you eat?
all right. Well, I ate 4 tacos and a quesadilla, and I put
Chips.
a decent dent in the chips. The chips and pico de gallo were excellent. So, in which
Was it spicy this time?
just spicy enough.
All right.
Which I don't know. Yeah, like we talked about it before. It wasn't spicy enough for my mouth, but my back door was a-okay with what the situation ended up being. So that is really my main concern. So
Yeah.
you know,
Oh man, we also had our first hangout with our Patreons this week, which was actually really cool. That was a lot of fun seeing them in person and getting a chance to BS with them and whatnot.
Yeah, and to tell them about the game show, which is, exciting. So that's my baby right there. So
Yeah, we basically wanted to explain to them the concept and kind of go over some of the ideas of the games and whatnot that we haven't that Luke has created for this the game show, the Jointery podcast game show, which is such a clever name, by the way.
yeah, the JPGS.
The JPGS.
It doesn't
Um,
even roll off the tongue at all.
so yeah, so we that was fun. We got to talk to them, go over there, and we got some good ideas from them too. They chimed in, which was awesome, and gave us
Yeah.
some great other ideas. So thank you guys so much for that. That
Yeah,
was so much fun.
what was
We're
the
gonna have to do
idea?
more of those.
There was one I added to it. It was from the one that Matthew from the keep wanting to call him Matt now that he told me to call him Matthew. Um,
At
I
the
mean,
wooden mustache.
the wooden Matthew.
The
Um,
wooden Matthew.
yeah, it was. The one that we came up with was I called it, I think, Clamposaurus Rex, right? Where basically it was take as many clamps as you can from your shop and build the tallest structure you can in 3 minutes.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, which
I thought it
which
was gonna be.
someone like you have an unfair advantage because you have the world's leading supply of Bessie clamps right now.
I do. I'm the foremost leader in on the West Coast of Bessie clamps. Yeah, you would definitely go downtown.
Well,
Um,
I'm creative though. I think that even though I don't have as many clamps, I think I could beat you.
I don't know. I thought your when you were going Clamposaurus Rex or whatever you guys were calling it, I thought you were going with how many clamps you can get on yourself at one time.
Oh,
That's
dude,
what I thought. That's what I thought you were going with. Because after I think back to your Bessie post where you had all the clamps going down your arms. You know what I mean? And you were like the clamp wing man or whatever you want to call it.
that was incredibly painful.
I bet.
Like yeah, it was. I forget. I had a funny name for it too. It was like Klegelman or something. I don't know, but
That sounds dirty.
dude, I had a lot of clamps on my arms though. So, and
You did.
I think I won clamps for that. So, which was great. But I don't know, man. I could always. I think I'm at the point now where I rarely run into situations where I don't have enough clamps. So, but anyways, that was the competition, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. I can't wait for it. We're gonna do a practice run. I think this weekend, hopefully, and so it's ready to go for when we launch it at the second week of April. I believe is when we're targeting.
Yeah, because I
Um,
scheduled it for when I was on vacation, which is
exactly.
like if you're gonna launch something, you might as well launch it when you're out of town and away from your shop. Like,
you, you you've been telling me about it for a month now. We're gonna do it this week. It's gonna be here. It's gonna be now. Da, da, da. And then last couple days ago, you sent me that message, and I was like, "What the fuck? You
well,
literally have been planning this for a month, and now you're going out of town." I'm so
well,
confused.
dude, like the problem is that like like so we had this vacation, and sometimes Jackie will put things on our shared calendar, but she puts it only on her calendar. She thinks she does the shared one. So like
Oh,
I knew we had this trip coming up, and like I knew that the kids' spring break was coming up, but I didn't really clearly underthought the situation,
yeah.
because I was like I know it's in March, and I'm like, well, it's not this week, and this is the second to last week of March, and I was like, like look at her, I'm like, she mentioned something about our trip, and I'm like, when is that again? She was like the first weekend in April. I was like, oh damn it! Like I was like, I gotta text Ben. I'm a fucking idiot. Yes, it is gonna. It'll start eventually. I don't know. I
Yeah.
gotta tell the sponsors too. So
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna be as consistent as we can be with it every week. But obviously, life comes first. Outside life, gets in the way
yeah,
sometimes. So
there's no way.
it might.
There's no way to do it every single week.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best, but it'll be tough. What's going on with you, man? What's up with you in the shop this week? What have you been up to? What have you been working on? What have you any new inventions? Any new crazy things you want to talk about?
I mean, dude, it's it's like during the week it's challenging because like like not much has happened since we did the taco run in today, right?
No, I know.
Yeah, and
We didn't
it's
really
like,
talk about our shops though on the taco run. We just talked about your food.
I mean, yeah, like, dude, like, look, think about it like this, dude. With this podcast, right? How many comments do you get from people that are like, "Oh, that stuff you're talking about in the shop was really interesting," versus like, Ben doesn't know what the fuck barbacoa is?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely the latter rather than the former. You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
people don't care. People who listen to this podcast aren't listening to it for our shop talk. You know
no.
what I mean?
Look, there, I'll sum it up. I'm making a sign. That's what I've been doing this week, and I I I think this I'm going to try to carve some more. I'm trying to get all of my work. My regular 9 to 5 has just been super busy, so I'm trying to get it all done by Thursday, so that way, like at least Friday afternoon, I could I could get in the shop. Though the one thing I did do is, did you see the little house I made for Andrew Zetto?
Yeah, I saw that. That's gonna look sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a second, because you 3D printed it, but you're not 3D printing it just to give him that. There's more to it.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is that man. Now that I'm looking in the light, yeah, this is still be good. So what happened is that I'd seen him. He's been getting into really some interesting stuff. One of the things he's getting into is candle making, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I saw him post a video where he had a candle that was similar to the shape of his house, and I was like, dude, I'm like, honestly, like, if you want, I'll 3D print you a version of your house, because his house is a really simple design, and I'm like,
Well,
I'll 3D print.
his cabin.
Yeah, his
He,
cabin. Well, technically, his
yeah.
regular house is simple too, because it's just a rectangle.
No, I know, I know, but we're talking about his cabin though. That's what
Yeah,
we're talking about.
his cabin. So I told him, yeah, I want to make you this thing. So he's going to take the version of his house that I designed, and he's going to cast it in silicone so he can make candles of his house.
I can picture it right now, the wick coming out of the little chimney right there.
Yeah, it'd be super sweet.
I think, I think that'd be super sweet. It's an A-frame cabin for those of you, because this is an audio podcast. If you're not watching it on YouTube, you're not going to know what we're talking about. But it's a little A-frame cabin that he made, that he built a few years back, and it's really cool. That's going to be awesome. That's going to be a really cool candle.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, dude, we got to do a video. We got to do this and that." I was like, I already started printing it. I was just so excited about doing it for him. I was like, "This is," because he's like, he is like, I don't know. People generally think Canadians are nice, I think, and like he is like extra nice. He's like the nicest dude.
Oh
So,
yeah, no, Andrew's great, man. He's super, super, super nice. And he's very, very talented. And
yes. So that's all my shop shit. I had 4 things on my list to talk about this week. So like I was getting my hair cut at the barber shop, okay? And and I'm sitting there and they have a TV going. And like I don't know, I was tired. I'm just watching this TV, and they had the movie Once Upon a Time in Mexico playing. You ever
Johnny
seen that
Depp.
movie? Yeah, with Johnny
Yeah.
Depp and Benicio Tor. And so
Yeah.
like Mickey Rourke is in that movie, and the whole time, like he's got this little chihuahua underneath his arm, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sitting there watching this, and he's like an assassin kind of a guy, right? And I'm like, think about the shit that dog has seen. Like that dog has seen him probably murder like tons of people. Like, and I'm like, how would that like emotionally affect a dog to see a human get killed, right? And then that kind of like led me down like a rabbit hole. And like the whole time my barber's talking to me about I don't know what the hell he's talking to me about. And like all I could think about is like it was like I was deep diving on dog stuff, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, man, and I started thinking about my dogs, and I'm like, well, they've seen some shit for sure, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
like, and then like like our dogs in our room all the time. I'm like, so I'm like, my most personal moments with my wife, I'm like, dude, thank God my dog can't fucking talk, right? And then I was thinking to myself, like imagine like if tomorrow like dogs could start talking, like I would be most worried about what Elvis would say to people. Like, honest to God, that would be really, really uncomfortable. And I was thinking about your dogs, and I was like, oh man, I'm like, I bet you Harley has seen some shit that Ben does not want her talking about. Like,
Oh, dude. Yeah, if dogs could talk, yeah, that's. Can you imagine, dude? Like, fuck you. How many people would go to jail for things that dogs would tell people don't talk about?
oh man, dude, I didn't even think about that. It's like I didn't do it, and the dog's like, "Fuck yeah, you did, you dumbass."
Yeah. Can you imagine, dude? Oh, it's just a dog. He does not paying attention. He's, you know,
Yeah,
you worry about. Do you freak out? Like, do you kick your dogs out of the
like
room?
when it's
Like, do
intimate
you?
time.
Yeah, when it's intimate time. Or do you just say screw it and let him be there?
Dude, he has seen it almost. I would say that Elvis has seen Jackie and I about like 95% of the time since he's been alive.
Oh wow, I
like,
get
like,
weird about.
like he's probably got like PTSD about it, you know, because he doesn't have balls. So like, he's probably like, I don't even understand this a little bit. So
Them staring at us is just just so weird to me. You know what I mean? Like them just like, not that I'm paying attention to what they're staring at, because I'm obviously I'm paying attention to what I'm doing, but I'm also thinking about, like, do I don't know. It's just weird having
you kick
another
the
pair
dog?
of eyes.
Do you kick the dog out? Your dog's out?
Um, no, not. I mean, I don't usually kick them out, but if they're like definitely off the bed, I mean, they're definitely getting off the bed for sure.
Well, yeah, dude. Like I've had like Grayson jump up on the bed like we're in the middle of it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, bro!" And like I mule kick him off the bed, but yeah.
I mean, Harley especially, because Harley will she gets put away because she will jump up and try and get in the mix, dude. You know what I mean? Like, she will straight up try
Oh,
and jump in the middle.
we're kissing Debbie now. Let's do this.
Yes, yes, dude. She's so needy and just wants to be a part of everything. Yeah, I'm afraid if I don't, I'm gonna get licked in the wrong place or something.
Oh God, dude. Oh, man. But you can imagine like if you take your dog to like daycare, right? Imagine if like they like what they would talk about at daycare. It's like, oh, did you saw your owners doing it? Like, pff, my owner makes this really odd noise. It sounds like a squirrel dying. Like, no shit. And the smells.
Uh,
That smell is Jesus Christ. Like they got super
uh,
sensitive noses, right? So they got to be
yeah,
thinking like
exactly.
the smell of it all has got to be like really disturbing. There's no way. All the things that are happening there, the sweat and the fluid. Oh God.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking about the barber chair. I was like, God, thank God my dog can't fucking talk. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh,
you know.
Dude, that's funny, man. That is so funny. I don't tend to think about that type of stuff normally, but it's pretty
Well,
funny.
I've been trying to like pay like extra attention to my dogs because like they're getting older and I like it's easy to ignore them, so like I've been trying to pay them attention, which has led to me thinking about them more, and sometimes I'm like thinking about like what I could do to make them a little bit happier, and I think that
You know,
like
just keep them fed and keep them, a soft place to lay down, dude. And that's all that's all they worry about, man. They're dogs.
I wish people were that easy to please. It was like, look, you could just chill the fuck out. Here's a fucking burrito and a couch. Like, could you just fucking take a break for a couple hours and
Uh,
like, do nothing?
I feel like you and a dog are pretty much the same. I could probably just do the same with you and the dog at the same time. Here's a burrito and a couch, Luke, and just leave us alone.
I would be very satisfied. You could rub my belly. It'd be perfect. Like, it'd be great. A little scratch behind the ear, maybe. Get a little frisky.
Yeah.
Uh,
God, that's good.
but
It's too good.
I told you that Elvis, he has sniffed every single person's privates that's ever walked through the door of my house.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, he like jams his nose up in there. I'm like, oh God. So much fun though to watch people squirm for the first time. It's like, like, yeah, he got you. Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, dude, that's too funny.
He's like,
So
I know you haven't showered.
So
So when are you going to transition away from us, dude?
I've been actually working in my shop this week a little bit. I've been doing a few things. I took that I've been working basically this whole week on, or the last couple of days anyways, on this cleaver that my dad sent me from the auction.
Oh yeah,
So I
yeah. You did the rust thing on it.
so I put it in some evaporust and got that cleaned off, and then I brought it over to my new Buck Tools sharpening area, and I used my wire wheel and cleaned it all off and made it look all pretty and stuff. And then today I spent the morning putting a handle on it and shaping the handle, and it's pretty epic, man. It's pretty fun. I've found a new passion for this type of work, so I'm really excited
Are you
about
gonna
it.
do like the draw knife thing on it too?
No, I didn't use a draw knife. I just I used my 2x36 sander grinder to shape the handle, and then I used my Merca to finish shape it and everything. And
That's
dude,
cool.
I'm super excited about it. I know this is not what you guys really like to hear from us, but I was excited, and I wanted to talk about it for a second because it's something that I'm proud of. I'm proud of it. You know what I mean? I'm proud of it. I think it looks really good.
Cool story, bro. I really like it. No, it's really cool. Like there's
Now back to your normal broadcasting.
well, like I was, like I'm trying to stay focused, man. That's my biggest challenge at all times, because like you're sitting there talking about the cleaver, and I'm like, yeah, that is a nice cleaver, and like of course I start thinking about what you're gonna cleave with it, and like where it's gonna go in the kitchen, and then I remember like you sent me that fucking text message where it was just a picture of jerky, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh my god.
So yeah. So, anyways, cool. Anything else you want to talk about in the shop? Because I want to talk about the jerky.
No, that's fine, man. I was just excited. I was just excited about it. I should have known better than bring it up to you. I'll bring it up. I'll call Lucas after we're done here, and I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Look. If you want to talk about that cleaver, man, like, look, like I think it's amazing, but like I don't think we need to, memorialize that cleaver. No, but dude, what was up with that? Okay, so speaking of not paying attention, like I got that text message from you, right? And it was just a bag of jerky, and you're like, "Yeah, I found it on the counter this morning, and I didn't know how it got there." And I was like, "What the hell happened to you, man?" Like,
so not last night, but the night before, Debbie and I, we were out of herb, and so we called the delivery service to come bring us some, and we got an eighth of something nice,
yeah,
a little Bubba Kush, and then she picked up a pen, like a cartridge, whatever. And those oils, those concentrates are just fucking so goddamn potent, dude. You know what I mean? That like you never know. I never know how much of it to smoke. You know what I mean? 1 hit, 2 hits, whatever. I opted for 4 this time. I don't know why. I just did. I went.
well, I was told at the dispensary that 2 hits is a serving.
Okay, so I went for a double serving. And
What happened to you?
Debbie went to bed, and I was sitting here that night, and I was watching TV, or I was editing, or I was doing something. And the next thing I remember, I was in the kitchen, and all I remember in the kitchen was eating some beef jerky, right? And that was all I remember. And then the next thing I remember is waking up in the morning. That's basically how my night went. Right?
Did you find any loose jerky around the house or anything? Like, was there jerky on the couch?
No jerky on the couch, no jerky in my bed. I woke up. I woke up normal, like nothing was wrong. I had no idea what was that anything weird had happened. Got up, took a shower, came out, went out to the kitchen like I do every morning, and I walk out to the kitchen. And as I'm walking out to the kitchen, I notice a full stick of butter sitting on top, of the air fryer, just open, like opened up, but just sitting there, like it had no like
Like,
perfectly intact too. I hadn't taken any no butter was removed from it. It was just sitting there open all night,
do you
right?
remember what the plan for that butter was?
No, this is how it goes. I see the butter and immediately I think that's weird. I wonder what Debbie ate last night with butter. She must have forgot to leave. She must have forgot to leave, and she left it out. And I was like, okay, great. So I was like, okay, whatever. But then I noticed there's no butter missing out of the stick of butter. So I was like, that's kind of weird. So then I open the refrigerator and I go to put the butter back. Like I've rolled it back up. I go to put it back in the little container where I keep my chocolate chips, obviously, and in the chocolate chip holder. And
yeah, I don't know why you put your butter in the chocolate chip holder. It's so weird.
I don't know. It is weird. And then there was no the boxes of butter weren't there. They were on the shelf down below. So this whole time I'm like thinking like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is so weird. And then all of a sudden I go back out, I close the refrigerator, I look over at the counter, and there's a bag of beef jerky, right? And I looked at the beef jerky and I'm like, what the fuck? There's something in the bag of beef jerky with the beef jerky. There was 3 pieces of rye bread in the bag of beef jerky and then sealed up. Like I don't know, dude. Like honestly, to this point still I don't understand how I ended up like I picked it up first off and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like I still at this point don't think I had anything to do with this. I walk into the bedroom, I go, Debbie, what the hell is going on? Like why is there butter out? Why is there a beef jerky bag with rye bread inside? Like, what is going on? She's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I had nothing. I went straight to bed last night. I never even went into the kitchen. I was like, okay. So then I honestly, I have no idea what happened. All I know is that at some point I decided to go into the kitchen. I decided to get butter out. I set it on the thing. I then ate beef jerky apparently. And then the only thing I could think of is that I walked in and there was rye bread in another plastic bag on the counter. And I must have taken a piece of rye bread out. I must have thrown the plastic bag away. I must have then thought, oh, well, I need to put this rye bread back away in a plastic bag. And the only plastic bag sitting on the counter then was the beef jerky bag. So I must have just taken the beef jerky bag, opened it up, stuck the bread in and sealed it back up and then went to bed. I don't know, man.
I mean, like, were you maybe you're thinking like I'll make a jerky sandwich, like because that would be horrible.
Yeah, and Debbie thought maybe I thought I was making toast. That's why I got the bread out and I got the butter out. Like, all I know is I was fucking blacked out, dude. Like,
it was teriyaki jerky, wasn't it? Wasn't it teriyaki jerky?
It was teriyaki jerky.
You know how high you have to be to black something out, like completely? Like, you have to be, you must have taken like 4 gigantic hits because, like, to travel through time like that is with off weed is incredible. I can't remember the last time I like woke up to a scenario like that, you know, where it's just like, oh God. Well, yeah, no, not really. But you know, one thing I used to do, maybe this is what happened, right? Is when back in my like single days when I was getting plowed all the time, I used to do nice things for myself for the next day, right? So like when I'd be really fucked up, like I would, you know, do some dishes or like I would like make a breakfast sandwich and just put it in the fridge, right? Or like I would do nice things for myself so that way when I woke up the next morning with a mind-splitting hangover, at least I was like, well, hey man, you were good to yourself. Like you ordered like sometimes I would like order food when I was fucked up and I would order food for the next day too, and I'd be like, oh thank God, like there's an extra burrito in the fridge. Like I really need that right now. Like
that is so weird, man. It's usually the opposite. People do things that are fucking detrimental to their fucking life and their, you know, future while they're fucked up. You do the opposite. You fucking do nice things for yourself. Your future me is gonna be so happy with me right now.
Oh, dude, because it's like I distinctly remember like being in these situations and I would be like, God, I hate myself, but I did get myself a burrito, so I can't be that mad at me. So fine. Whatever, man, just do what you do, you know. And I would talk about like the other version of myself, like, oh, drunk me really like does some horrible things to sober me, but on occasion he does some pretty decent shit. Like most of the time, it's horrible stuff, you know, that I have to like apologize to somebody or like go find my credit card or like you know Look
Like,
at like all the people I drunk dialed from the night before, you know. But at least I got myself a burrito for the next day when I was at the burrito place. It's like cool.
uh,
I called my ex 4 times, but I did get a burrito. So hey, it's like
oh Jesus, man, that is too funny, man. People
ugh.
like doing dishes while you're drunk must be an adventure too. Like,
I mean, when I say doing dishes, I don't mean well. It's like I would, you know, it's like, oh, the dishes are put back in the cabinet, but I didn't actually clean them. Cool. Like it's like, you know, every plate's crusted over. I'm like, God damn it. Like intentions were
uh,
there, but not really, you know. So, and then also like there's also the this stuff that I would order for myself when I was fucked up. That would just like show up at the house and I did not remember ordering that. So,
ooh, drunk QVC dialing, man, that can be dangerous.
I think
That can be dangerous.
I don't know if I told you on the podcast or I told you in one of our numerous other chats, but like I did in college, I ordered like 2 or 3 copies of Girls Gone Wild, and it was the same edition. It wasn't like other like getting more of them. I just kept ordering the same one over and over again, and they kept showing up to my dorm room, and I'd be like, how many fucking copies of like Girls Gone Wild season 2 do I need? Like Jesus Christ, man! Like stop ordering these. It's like I feel like I would needed to like write myself a note, but like in reality, I'm drunk me would never read a note that I sober me wrote. It would totally disrespect it. Stupid sober me doesn't know shit. Like
Although you never know, he sounds very nice. He might have taken your advice and ordered a second edition or like the third edition or something.
no, he's nice like in the sense that like he wrecked my car, but he brought me coffee in the morning. So like, yeah, the coffee's nice, but the fucking car's gone, dick.
Jesus, man.
So,
I don't think you ever told me that story. Actually, that's pretty funny.
dude, I had like, the dumb thing was is that like I had this like epic drawer of like VHS movies, right? Because I'm that
Yeah.
old, right? And
Oh yeah.
it was a whole drawer of movies. But like, so people in the dorms would come by and be like, like I'm the fucking library. Can I borrow a movie? And I'd be like, yeah, you can borrow a movie. And they're like, why do you have 3 copies of Girls Gone Wild season 2? I'm like, I don't like keep one. I don't need it.
Yeah.
And I think I ordered it because like at the time, I was like, well, maybe there's some girls I went to school that were going to school with us, you know, went to spring break last year, and I'll see them on the video or some shit like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
which you know,
Never happened.
I mean, I never watched it. I think I only watched it like one time, and it was like with a group of dudes, and I was hammered. It was like, oh yeah, I got Girls Gone Wild. You guys want to watch this? It's like, yeah. It's like, let's find and see if there's any girls from Ball State in there. Like, so I don't know. But the
Dude,
school
that's
was
too-
on the Playboy party list when I was a freshman, so I was like, you know, we get wild, man. That's
Oh yeah, sounds like it. Balls state is what they should have
Balls-
called it.
It's Ball U right off I-69. How perfect is that? It's literally right off I-69 in Indiana. It's not made up, dude. It's
I believe you.
yeah. That's probably why I went to school there. So
That's too.
Ah.
That was awesome.
yeah, dude. So wait.
Uh,
So I had 2 other things on my list that I wanted to. One I wanted to ask you, and one that I wanted to just tell you.
yeah.
So the one thing I was going to ask you is, how many times have your kids fake murdered you? Does this happen in your house?
Yeah, Frankie. Well, because Frankie went through a phase where he wanted to be a ninja. Right, we bought him the whole ninja outfit. Like he'd sneak around the house. So like I died numerous times in like 6 months. I mean, like every day I was dying, multiple times a day. You know, he would go through. You know, he'd hide. He had ninja stars. Yeah. So no, that happens a lot here. Why are you getting murdered on a daily basis, or what's your deal?
I mean, like since Bubs could talk, he's murdered me like 3 times a day. So, I mean, I was thinking about this morning because I was like getting ready to go to school, and he was like, "Ha, Dad, I just cut off your arms, and now I shot you in the face. Have a nice day." And I'm like, "Thanks, bro. Like, good to see you too. Can you fucking eat your peanut butter and honey sandwich so we could go to school, or are you just gonna keep murdering me?"
Ooh, peanut
So-
butter and honey. I
Oh,
love
dude,
peanut
he
butter
had
and
it.
honey.
He had it on raisin bread.
Ooh, whoa, that's-
Toast toasted raisin bread with peanut butter and honey. He gave me a bite of it. It was delicious. He's
Dude,
lucky.
dude, that sounds. I mean, I love it, but the raisin bread kind of throws me. But toast, peanut butter and honey toast sounds good. I don't think I've ever done peanut butter and honey toast. I've just done peanut butter and honey sandwiches. But
Oh,
I'm gonna have to toast it up sometime.
have you ever done it the Elvis variety? Add some banana in there.
Yeah, my dad, when I was a kid, that was like his favorite thing to make us. He made peanut butter and banana sandwiches all the time.
Oh man,
Um,
I make them in hot dog buns, so you can
well,
eat it like a
that's
hot dog.
yeah, that sounds good. I mean, like it's almost like a hot dog banana split that way.
Yeah,
Um,
fucking delicious. Um, okay, so I was asked, yeah, because I was wondering about the murdering thing, and I was like, this can't be just like a me thing. I'm like Ben
no, I
is
mean, dude, 6-year-old boys, that they're all about that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Bubs just turned 6, right? So
yeah,
him
everything's a
and Frankie
weapon
are
to him.
exactly. They pick up a stick. They pick up anything and everything is a sword, a shield, a weapon, a gun. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always.
The other thing is that I was just thinking about all the goofy shit my daughter's been doing this week. She's been on she's now that she has a gang, she's been on a tear. Um, so she it's like
Stealing, just robbing people's cookies all over the neighborhood.
oh yeah, dude. She jacked 2 houses yesterday. But no, because like so she comes in the other day, right? And I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, and she's speaking in a British accent, right? And she was doing a really good job with it. I mean, I can't do
Yeah,
accents, but
I was gonna say you're horrible at them, so she must have been learning them from somebody else.
she didn't get it from me because I know I asked Bub to do an accent and it was nonsense that came out of his mouth. So I don't even know if he knows what the word accent means. But Ellie, dude, for like a long time, she was just talking in a British accent. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And she was like, I like to talk in a British accent now. And I'm like, why? She's like, because I like it. Uh, But imagine that like in an actual British accent.
Yeah, I was
And,
gonna say in an actual British accent.
and because she's my daughter, I'm like, can you please stop doing that? It's kind of creeping me out. And she's like, no, I won't stop doing it ever. Now that I know it creeps you out, this is my new voice. And I'm like, oh, God. Like, now I know how Madonna's parents must have felt. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like,
This-
so, and
yeah,
then the other thing she did was she took something that like, man, like she didn't know she was doing it, but she was reading the desserts on a menu, right? And
yeah.
I have this theory that like if you read the desserts on a menu in a sexy voice, like it's basically like fat guy porn, So like she was reading like a menu item, and she was like luscious chocolate with creamy caramel sauce, oh, and whipped cream, oh, and vanilla ice cream, and this delicious dessert. Dad, we should get this. And I'm like, all right, sweetheart. Like you, like,
You need to
wow,
stop.
you're really into that. I do not look. Like I'm just getting used to like little kid attitudes. Like I do not need to deal with little kid hormones, right? Like
Yeah, exactly.
because she keeps talking like she's not giving up on her crush thing. Like she's still got a crush on the neighbor boy.
Yeah,
But at least she doesn't act as weird when he's around anymore. For a while she would act really weird, but I don't know.
dude.
This kid's a good looking kid. He's gonna have some options on the block, and I'm like, oh god. Like I just hope he doesn't get to my daughter first. Like something to put him in the friend zone because like, oh god.
He's gonna run through that whole neighborhood if you're not careful.
Yeah, and him and Bubs have been hanging together like nonstop. So I'm like,
Oh
great.
damn, they're gonna they're gonna run the whole neighborhood.
Like you guys are gonna be swapping notes on Ellie's friends, and hopefully not Ellie too. Like,
Speaking of sexy voices, man, you and my wife and Tiffany the other night
oh,
were
dude, I had no idea how fucking hot your wife's voice is when she leans into it. Like,
Dude,
God,
I was sitting here listening to you guys have a three-way, and
you got that win because we were talking about uh, Tiffany and I's budding. Like she wants to start another podcast
yeah,
where it's just a bunch of women and me, where I'm like Bosley and they're like the Charlie's Angels, and it's called
yeah.
Hot for Hardwoods, right? Did you know the name of it? Hot for Hardwoods.
I didn't until after I listened back to it. It was pretty funny. I
Yeah.
was sitting here listening to it, and I just kept hearing Debbie say that over and over again. I'm like, what? Because I didn't have headset on. Only you guys did, so I didn't hear what you guys were talking about. But I could hear her side of it, obviously through her talking. But yeah, I just
Did she ever talk to you like that? I mean, I know she talked to me like that, but
hey, that stays in the bedroom. You know what I mean? No, it was just
Ben.
so funny, man. Listening to the three of you guys talk, dude. And then when Tiffany played it, sent us the actual clip of it, and I got to watch it back, dude. It was fucking hilarious, man.
Oh man, yeah. I love talking to Debbie. Listen to her talk like that because her and Tiffany, like they just they were just going at it.
Dude, they are funny as fucking hell, man. It
Look,
just
it's
makes me
really
laugh.
funny. She wanted to make it a subscription only podcast, and I was like,
I know.
it's gonna be pricey. Like, should be like it's like
all right.
$20 an episode, and Luke, you get none of it, but you get to sit in on it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
that's
I'm
fine.
gonna have to. Yeah. All right, well, dude, we're up against it, dude. This hour flew by so fucking fast, dude. We blinked and it went by.
I don't
Uh,
even know what we talked about, dude. I came into this thinking I had nothing to talk about this week, and I was like,
We
so,
didn't. We clearly this is
like,
when we listen back to this episode, we're gonna be like, "What the fuck did we talk about for an hour?"
yeah,
Um,
like I got down to the bottom of my list, and all it says is dessert porn, and I was like, oh, I think that's something to do with my daughter, maybe.
this show is truly about nothing. That's what I
It
love about it.
really is. That's fine.
All right, so let's do our shout outs and then we'll get to our Patreons, and then we got to get out of here because it's we got like 7 minutes. So
Yeah.
my shout out this week goes to my friend Dennis over at 21 Grams Leather Goods. He dropped his new podcast this week, and so I want to shout it out.
Oh, nice.
It's the Wake and Make podcast, which I thought you would like the name of it.
The
and I thought
Wake
that
and
was so
Make?
Wake and Make podcast. I thought that was really clever.
That
We
is
should have thought
really
of
good.
that.
I
We
mean,
should have fucking thought of that. We're
yeah.
idiots.
So what is he talking
Um,
about on that? Was he talking? I haven't heard it yet. What's he talking about? Like getting
He's
high and
interviewing.
making stuff?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. That's the funny part about it. He doesn't do drugs at all. He's
And you
completely sober.
And you guys are friends? What brings you two together? The leather goods?
Yeah, you know me and all my leather goods.
Did he make you a mask?
It's a whip, actually. Uh,
Come here, Benjamin.
So yeah, go check him out. 21 Grams Leather Goods. But he he dropped his new podcast, Wake and Make. Lucas from Man Made and MA is his first guest and it's live this week right now. So go check it out. And that was it for me. That was my guy.
That's what I saw. I saw that post about him being the guest on it, and I thought it said something like "make podcast," and I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, is this a new podcast or a rebranded podcast? I was confused because again, I don't read descriptions on posts. So
yes, you're the worst at that.
Dude, I don't have time for that, man. It's a lot of like, look, I got into Instagram for the pictures. I didn't get into it for the storytelling.
I don't think you've ever posted a photo. It's all videos.
Look, I used to post pictures of things, but nobody cares about pictures anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no engagement. You can't get anything out of a picture. You're only in it for what you can get out of it. Let's be real. Let's be real a little bit, Luke. Come on, let's be real.
Look, I've been trying hard to grow my account, and nobody.
Speaking of which,
nobody gives
bullshit! You're fucking bullshit. You're like at 80. You're almost at 10K. You grew like 4,000 this week. Or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it's been a stupid week, man. And I did that video with Dave, and it's at 20K right now, and it's still not 24 hours old. And I'm like, Holy hell! Oh my god, dude! During this podcast, I think I've gotten 50 followers. I'm over 9,000 now. So
Oh
it's
yeah, I know. I believe me. I keep getting updates from Debbie. She keeps sending me. She's like, Luke is like, I don't know if she's just so surprised or she's happy for you. I don't know which one it is. I
nobody's
can't
more
decide.
surprised than me. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, I'm not doing anything different. I like so, but it's look. I'm gonna take my moment of fame and just enjoy it. So
Hell yeah, dude, you're killing it. You're killing it. All right, shout out for you. Anybody?
yeah, I got a shout out. I'm gonna give 2 shout outs this week. One is overdue, and one is right on time. And they're both to makers that within the last week they quit their 9 to 5s and they went pro,
Oh, nice.
or full time. So, Bao from Bao Designs.
Yes.
I've mentioned him before. Everybody thinks that him and DIY Dave are the same person, which is kind of racist, but
a little bit, a little racist.
I could tell them apart. But they're
They
both,
don't look, they don't look
like,
anything alike.
they're both Asian. That's it. Like it'd be
Yeah.
like saying that you and I look exactly like. We look closer together than
I was
they
gonna
do.
say we do look more like than they do.
But I do
Go on.
love it when he wears Dave's shirt and people are like, "Are you? Wait, which Asian dude are you again?" And I'm like, "You guys are so racist. Like, do you even realize? Like, this is the worst." So anyways, yeah, him and Adam from Lazy Guy DIY.
Oh yeah.
He just quit his job and he's got a show coming up and he's got he is the dream that we all have. He's got a real show coming up where he's like remodeling hunting cabins or something like that. It's really cool. And then
Wait, he's got a TV show coming up?
yeah, like like at least
or like whatever, some sort of show. Gotcha.
well, no, it's like on a network. So,
nice.
But I don't know the name of the show, and I don't know anything about the show other than this one thing. And I heard that they showed it at Workbench Con, like the pilot of it or something.
Oh, okay. This is that show they were talking about. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, but he's a really nice dude, and so yeah, he look any of these dudes who have gone full time and could just do what they want to do, like I got all the respect in the world. I know how much of a grind and a hustle it is to get to that point. And either you're doing the work or you're not. Like, that's typically it. So
That's awesome, man. Congrats, guys. Appreciate you guys for doing what you do.
they're good. They're all good people. And learn the difference between Dave and Bao. God damn it, people. Like, it's ridiculous. Goddamn ridiculous.
Isn't one taller than the other too? Like, isn't Dave a short little dude and Bao taller than him? I think so.
I thought you and I were the same height. So how the hell am I going to know like how tall someone is from their Instagram profile?
That's true. That's true. Well, anyways, thanks.
And you're like a good half foot taller than me now. So
at least, yeah. Well, thanks, guys. Go check those people out.
I hope when we finally get together, like you don't like keep away with me, like picking things up that I want and just holding them over your head so I can't reach them. You know.
Oh, I will.
Stop it, Ben! You're being mean to me, jerk.
All right. Well, go check out those people. Go check out Dennis from 21 Grams. Go check out Bao and go check out Grant. You said
what? No, Adam.
Oh, Scott. Adam
from Lazy Guy DIY.
Adam.
And here, let me run through our Patreons too.
Let's do that.
Thank you again to our Patreons. We now have 7. Kyle Foot from Footwork Woodworking.
Kyle, what up?
Kyle, love you, man. He needs to send us more fat guy content.
Yes.
Matthew Gerard. Love the wooden mustache.
The wooden mustache, yeah.
He sent me a T-shirt, and I keep forgetting to wear it and show it. But thank you. I do have it. Lee from
I got one. It's super comfortable.
I wouldn't know. It's sitting on my counter. I'm an asshole. I know it. Big Mike Holmes from the Broken Lead Woodworks, which, by the way, he was hilarious on the hang.
The hangout, yeah.
It's cracking me up because he's like, I live out here in the middle of nowhere, and he like turns his camera around. It was literally like a field. so it's not surprising his internet sucks. Dave Wirt from Rustic Joy, my guy. Thank you for all the Star Wars stuff. My mom, which she's on here, is Wama Gelman, which I told her after the hang, I'm like, you could have hung out. Like they jumped on like they were ready to settle in, and then after like 2 minutes, they were like, this is weird, and left. So
Yeah, I think she felt like she was embarrassing you, which is highly illogical because how could she possibly do that?
I mean, like, no one's gonna embarrass me more than myself. So that's just how this works.
That was my point. You actually, I cut you off when you were saying Lee's name. Lee Oman.
Yeah,
from Regal
Oman.
Street. He's one of our other ones.
And then the last one, which I'm so surprised he's our Patreon, but I appreciate it all the same as Tim Greenwood, because like he does a lot for the podcast. He does all of our intros and outros, and he decided to support us financially too, which is
wow,
incredible. And he's gonna get so few of the perks because he doesn't live in the United States. It's incredible. So Tim, thank you.
Yeah, dude.
You're the man. Keep it ridiculous.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate you guys supporting us. And if you guys want to become a Patreon and support this shit show, go at the bottom of each one of our episodes in the notes. There's a link to the Patreon that you can just click at, and it'll take you directly over, and you can sign right up and give us all your money because we love you.
Yeah, and if you sign up at the maximum level, Ben will personally call you and tell you you're just a wonderful person.
Yeah, I do that. Also, if you guys want to go on Spotify and Apple and leave us some reviews and give us some 5-star reviews, that would be much appreciated because it helps us grow our podcast, and we love you for that.
Yep, and 2 weeks, game show in 2 weeks. You heard it here second.
Also, go share this thing, man. Share this amongst the people because we want to blow this thing up. We got to get Luke, some more money for his all his food and all the stuff that he does. So
yeah, look, I wish I could say that the taco run was paid for by the patrons. They would like that, but it wouldn't be fair, because unless you went on taco. So.
All right, well, dude, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for being here with us again. Stay tuned for next week. Yeah, dude, this is fun.
All right, take it away, Tim. Balls, balls, balls.
This has been a ConMan Creative production. Text us anytime at 908 768 2664 or send us a message on our Instagram, thejointery podcast. You can find Ben at Conderosa Creations or Luke at Luke in the Garage, everywhere that social media is sold. That's garage, not garage. Say it properly.